Hi everyone, Gary here. Thanks for joining us today for this brief walkthrough of the vPort dashboard in the UNUM 5.0 release. Before taking a look at the vPort dashboard, let's take a minute to talk about vPorts in general. vPorts are simply an endpoint connected to the fabric. They exist for physical ports such as a server, or for logical ports such as a virtual machine or virtual router. In the UNUM topology map, when you see a little blue circle as we have here, it indicates the presence of active vPorts on that specific node. vPorts are maintained in a fabric-wide database, and each NetVisor switch has a copy, maintaining integrity in case of a node failure. vPort database entries contain a variety of information. Since we're talking about endpoints, a MAC address is clearly included. However, other information, such as IP addresses, VLAN IDs, and VLXN IDs, are maintained as well. Additionally, if there's a VMware connection, the vPort entry tracks data pulled directly from the vCenter database through the Pluribus vCenter connection service. For example, in our first entry at the bottom of the screen, we can see that vPort 103461.1 with a MAC address ending in BEA4 exists on the host svprod ESXi2. We can also see that it's a virtual machine with a detailed name beginning with CSR 1000V. Further, we can see that it connects to the distributed virtual switch DVS Prod 1 and is connected via a trunked virtual NIC. This type of information is essential when bridging the communication gap between network and VMware administration organizations, identifying specific devices in the corresponding language. So let's take a look at an actual fabric. I'm in an UNUM instance and I'm at the topology display screen. And as we can see, we have 4 leaves here, each displaying the little blue circle with a white V in it. That means there's active vPorts on each one of these nodes. So if I click on this blue circle here, we can see down below a list pops up of all the vPorts that are active on this particular node. Now this is a sortable list if you want to sort on a host name or you want to sort an entity name, what have you. These all correspond to things that we talked about earlier. And say I wanted some more information. The list is great, but what if I want to dig deeper? Then I should check out the vPort dashboard. You can get there by going to Analytics, switch Analytics, and selecting the vPort dashboard link. And this is the vPort dashboard. Now, as you can see, we have several widgets here. In the upper left, we have states by total vPort, which we can take a look at fabric states, like whether the vPort's active or not. We can see IGMP, we can see port max and active ERP. There can be a lot more of these on this particular widget, but this is what's in the fabric at the moment. We also have a widget that tells us about the top 10 switches by active endpoints, as well as the active endpoint count. Now there's 35 total. We can see the types of vPorts. We can see the host virtual machines in this widget here. We can see some internal switch and fabric vPorts. Now in the middle of the screen, as you can see, the VLAN widget's empty. That's because in this fabric, all of our endpoints are mapped to VXLANs. Since the VLAN can be different on both sides of the tunnel, we don't carry the VLAN information in the vPort. On the lower right, we can see top 10 VXLANs by active endpoints, and we can see in this fabric we do have quite a few VXLANs configured. Now, down at the bottom here, we have multiple entries for active vPorts. If you click on this little triangle, it provides all the information that's entered into the database. There's just a table down here, and there's quite a bit of information, both fabric related, node related, as well as information for any VMware connections. Lastly, if you want to take a look at a range of time, right now we're looking at the last 15 minutes. So I can click on this button and we could look at, for example, the last 12 hours. Give it a moment and we have an update here and we can see some of the widgets have changed, the states, the total vPorts, and what have you. You can also change the polling intervals if you so desire. So that's it. That's the vPort dashboard in a nutshell. For more videos and documentation, please refer to the resources section of the Pluribus Network's website. The QR code on the right will take you there. Thanks for watching.